Hello and welcome. My name is Eunice Mathis. I'm a registered nurse and the owner of Florida Training Academy. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you my setup for corporate classes. We also refer to them as mobile or on-site classes. And a few of the instructors will contact me and ask, how do I get the contracts with different businesses? And so I go out and I network, but another thing I do is whenever there's a student within our office, I ask, how did you hear about us? And 9 times out of 10, it was a referral or it was Google. And so if it was a referral from another coworker or from their job, I make sure that I ask them to keep spreading the word about us. I give them a few cards to take back to their office. And if I am in contact with a decision maker, let's say it's the HR person, I let them know that we can provide promo codes, promotional codes, where when they register on our website, we give them an automatic discount. Right now, I have multiple agencies who are partnered with us, and we give all of their employees a discount. And so we add value, and that shows that we appreciate their business, and they keep coming back to us for years. So that's a recommendation I have. We also have the Entrepreneur's Corner, which is one of our YouTube groups, and it's $49.99 per month. But let me tell you, after doing this for 15 years and being a nurse for 25 years, I have so much knowledge, and I love sharing knowledge. However, the higher level questions that you may have about your business, I answer those within the group, and I help nurses, I help CPR instructors, I help those who are either starting or wanting to grow their businesses get to the next level. And so if that's you, whenever you go to our channel, you want to look for the area that says join or memberships, and I'll make sure that I also have that information, including the links to this equipment if you do need to update your equipment, in the description area below. All right, so even before I show you the equipment, I also want to let you know about invoicing, which is very important. And so what I do is I will send off a quote whenever someone calls and they're asking about an on-site or a group class. One of the questions I want to ask is, how many will be in attendance? What course do you actually need? Is it a renewal or an initial? And what are your tentative class dates and also times? Because it's really important. We try to be flexible, and so that makes us stand apart from our competitors, because we will go to a job site at 6 a.m. or 11 p.m. And so yes, we've been on the base, we go somewhere everywhere. It's whatever time the company needs, and if we can accommodate them so they can be certified and also help to keep their clients and their personnel safe, that's what we're here for. And so being flexible, I send them an invoice, and our pricing is tiered based upon how many people will be in attendance. And then, most of our companies pay in advance. So I want to say something really important. Thank you for paying in advance, because it's really important for a small business like mine. Some of the companies, especially our city entities, they usually pay 30 days later. So we will go on site and provide the training, but we don't issue those cards until we actually have the funds in the account. And so if they're going to be mailing a check, or if it's going to be a deposit into our bank, that can take up to 30 days. And so we will keep their information, but we won't issue those cards, but we let them know that in advance by putting it on the contract, our invoice, what the expected turnaround time is. And so I hope that helped you kind of figure out, how would you go about and connect with other businesses. And now once you've connected with them, you actually have to prepare. So now that we have a paid invoice, we have a class schedule, what do you do now? You need to go to your printer and start printing off your documents to prepare for your class. All right, so one of the documents that we love taking to our first aid classes, and tomorrow's course is going to be a CPR, AED, and first aid combination course, is we have this particular first aid sheet that has different injuries and medical conditions, and we provide this, we put this on each of the students' tables or work areas, and it's just something colorful, and it's something they're going to keep, and that's the way that they can remember Florida Training Academy. We also have the manuals that we're going to be using tomorrow, which would have whatever DVDs we are going to be using. I also bring my laptop, because I don't know what type of a setup sometimes a company may have. So I do both. I bring the DVD, I bring the laptop. And so if one doesn't work, I know the other will. That way I always have access to my resources too. I have the printed roster, I have additional pens, I have a clipboard. This makes it easier when there's a lot of people around a particular table or a conference table. If someone doesn't have room to write, I have the clipboard there. Everybody, this is a lifesaver. This is a foldable carrier. And so it collapses, you can unfold it, you can put a lot of your smaller items in it. So in this, I would put my AED, the sanitizers, etc. And also my laptop or my laptop bag. And then I can just roll it in. So I can literally have my adult mannequins on one shoulder, infant mannequins on the other shoulder, and I'm pulling my carrier, but I'm getting into that building to teach that course. All right, and so now that I've talked about these items, again, tomorrow's course is a hybrid. It's going to be CPR, AED, and first aid. So I have my first aid supplies here. I have my EpiPens, I have my commercialized tourniquet, I have multiple first aid kits, but I'm only showing one here on the video. And then I also have my Stop the Bleed, my trauma kit, because again, these are contractors and it could be some, dangerous equipment they could be using. So I want to make sure they know how to treat a bleeding injury. We have our adult mannequins, and for most brands of CPR, you can utilize the adult mannequins for child and adult CPR. That's why you don't see a lot of instructors with child mannequins. It just becomes too cumbersome. And regardless, we're still compressing at a rate of 100 up to 120 compressions per minute, and we still have to compress 2 inches, whether it's a child or an adult, which is why the one mannequin type will suffice. Tomorrow I have a class of 8 students, so I will have 4 adult/child mannequins, and over here you see our infant mannequins. I'll have 4 infant mannequins also. Most companies allow you to have a ratio of 3 students to 1 mannequin, but I like the 2 to 1 max ratio. So if I had a larger class, of course I'd bring more equipment. In the center here, I have our AED training device. I have gloves because of course we're teaching first aid. And if you're teaching first aid, they have to know how to put on and remove gloves properly. I also have our individually wrapped supplies. And this is important because if I'm going to be asking you to breathe into equipment, I need you to know the equipment is clean and sanitized. And the way to know that is you're pulling out a brand new piece of equipment that you'll use and then you will discard whenever you're done with the skill. So this is our one-way valve. We have multiple pocket masks. In addition to the one-way valves and a pocket mask, we also have individually wrapped face shields. And because I don't know the type of equipment, the type of first aid kit that these companies have, I go there with both. And that, I will know what to teach based upon what they have in their first aid kit. And it's really important, you as an instructor, when you're going to these different companies, if you're not looking in their first aid kit, you're doing that company a disservice. You want to make sure they have the supplies they need. We're talking about all this equipment and these supplies, but they may not have it there. And then I also told you that I'm dealing with contractors. So not only do they need this equipment in the office, they also need it on their work vehicles. All right, so that's part of my job. I do my little mini assessment. They appreciate it, and they keep calling me back every 2 years, and I appreciate them. We also have our sanitizing solutions. We have our Clorox wipes to do a quick wipe down after and between each skill. Don't forget that you have to let the sanitizer dry on the equipment. So disinfectant, dry on the equipment. If you wipe it off right away, it's not as effective. We also have hand sanitizer, and we pass that around frequently throughout our classes. And this pad, and so sometimes our students have to go to the floor, okay? And we teach a lot of medical students, and we use our tables as simulated medical beds, but for our contractors tomorrow, they're going to the floor. And if the floor isn't carpeted, or you may have somebody who may have a knee condition, I just recommend that you also have some knee pads so that your students can actually perform and practice their skills without having so much pain. We know they go to the floor in the real world, but we don't want to make your classes so traumatic. So this is how I set up for my corporate CPR classes. Again, this is Nurse Eunice with Florida Training Academy. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Don't forget about our Entrepreneur's Corner. It's only $49.99 per month, but what I can teach you in 4 weeks, you pretty much can't get this anywhere else. So I look forward to seeing you in either the next video or in one of our upcoming meetings. All right, have a great day, everybody.